Hello, everyone, and welcome to our fourth podcast episode. I'm your host, James, co-hosting with Sheila, and today we have the Martinez team here. We're going to go ahead and go around the table and introduce everyone, starting here.
Hi, I'm Avi. I do the art program here at Martinez.
Hi, I'm Leilani. I'm the assistant site director at Martinez.
Hi, and I'm Jose Luis. I'm the site director at Martinez.
And this is our first podcast here at Martinez. I know y'all have been kind of walking by. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sheila.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I'm so sorry. See, I'm in just a go mode today.
Hey, y'all, this is Miss Sheila, and I am co-hosting with Professor.
Alrighty. And so you've all been walking by the room and everything and kind of walking by the studio, and we've been talking about doing a Martinez podcast for a while. We're down one staff today. Jar wasn't able to make it. But the first question I want to start off and open up to all of you is, what led you to choose this kind of work?
Sure, I can start. When I was a high school senior, I had the opportunity to volunteer at an after-school program, and that was my first experience working in that setting. And in a way, I felt like it came natural to me. At the time, I wasn't sure what I was going to go to school for in college. And then after that experience, I thought, I really either wanted to go into teaching or counseling and work with youth. And so that was my first experience. And then that's kind of when the opportunity came up to work with the Boys and Girls Club when I was living in Southern California. I jumped on it, and I've been a part of the movement since 2018.
Alrighty.
Me and Leilani actually used to be club members here. So when we found out they're hiring, we were like, it'd be cool to come back and see how it is. So, yeah.
Move that just a little bit closer.
Sorry.
No worries. First podcast for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm going to go along with Avi said. We used to be club members, and I had 2 jobs prior that really weren't working out for me. And I thought this job would be fun to do just because we attended here, so we knew how it went.
Awesome. And I remember when you both came here as members, and we actually had one of our former staff visit the other day, Marina. Shout out to Marina. Come by and visit the other day and kind of, give kudos and shout outs to both of you and everything. And she's really, really proud of both of you. So kudos to both of you on that. So my next question is, on all this, is what's something you didn't expect in this job? Where you kind of, as a member, may have seen it one way, or before you started working with youth counseling, saw it one way, and then got your mind completely changed, your paradigm shifted once you started. What was that for you?
Okay, for me, I didn't realize how much structure was behind Boys and Girls Club. Like, as a member, it's just, fun. You just come here, hang out with your friends, and, do your homework and all that stuff. But now that I work here, I didn't realize how much, they had to plan and get snack and all that stuff. It's very interesting.
And I'm going to jump on Avi. As she said, I didn't know it took so much just to make all this happen. I thought it was all the staff came and they watched us when I was younger. But it's way more than that, way more.
Yeah, similar to what Leilani was just saying. I didn't realize how many different hats I was going to wear. And I love that part about the club, though. Everything from setting up programming to hands-on, being in the gym, playing with the kids, and also just doing the outreach and really feeling like I'm a part of the community here.
All right. And Sheila?
I was taking pictures.
I
missed that completely.
It's all right.
Oh, God. What was the question? I swear I was taking pictures, everybody. I wasn't trying not to listen. Okay, so our photographer, Catherine's not here today, so I'm taking her place, and so I'm struggling through it, so please be patient with me. And the question was...
what didn't you expect in this line of work? What was an instance that you had a thought or thoughts before starting a position like this, or even work like this, and then you did it, and it kind of changed your paradigm of, this is what it's really like. What was that for you?
So my aha moment, okay, paradigm, I'm working with that word, and I'm struggling looking at my dictionary. No, probably the biggest change was I knew I always wanted to work around young people, young adults. I knew that. I never was good with my own peer group. I just didn't, I struggled with relating to them, really. It was a weird thing because I always had a youthful approach about things. So when other people, as I got older, would say, oh, no, you know, they shouldn't be saying this and they shouldn't be that and they're, get off my lawn and all that stuff like that. And I had a viewpoint as, you know, let young people be young, you know, let them live, let them have, if they want to do crazy things and, you know, dye their hair blue, do it. You know, I just didn't see why everybody had to try to make young people fit the way they wanted them to fit. And part of being young is not fitting in, you know, and opening up and trying new things. And so my peer group was always so conservative and so stuck. So I always knew I wanted to work around young people for that reason, because they had open minds. And I wanted that. And I think what really, when I started working and I really started to get into site directing and developing my own programming, I realized I was right. It is most awesome working with young people. And that was my moment that I knew I made the right decision. So before, I was kind of shaky about it. I don't know. Is this going to work? Is it not going to work? And then suddenly I knew it was okay. Yeah.
All right.
So beat that. No. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So this whole segment of these first couple episodes of With Staff is our focus is we are more than badges and shirts, which is true. There are a lot of things that we have to work with every day and challenges we have to face with members every day that some others may not be aware of. So what are some things that you encounter every day that you think the average person wouldn't think second about or wouldn't maybe know about? What are some of those challenges with members or with working here where you go, man, they really don't know how this works? I know it's a loaded question, so don't all jump on it at once.
Everyone's sitting there like, I don't know if I should answer this. This is tricky.
Can you give us an example on your part?
Sure. So one thing that I've always, and I mentioned this in the last episode as well that I did with the group, is we're very different from a daycare, and we deal with a lot of different challenges when in comparison to daycare workers. And it's no knock on any daycare workers or anything out there, but this portion of the job of this type of childcare is very different from making sure they have food in their bellies and they have a nap time. We are dealing sometimes with members that are going through transition in their lives, transition through foster care, transitioning in homelessness. And we carry a lot on our shoulders, not just of our own mental health and what we have going on at home, but what these members are going through as well. So it's kind of challenges like that, in an instance where a member has come to you or someone has come to you and you go, whoa, I didn't expect that out of this. It's kind of where I'm kind of pushing with this is, what are some instances where members have come and they go, hey, I had a really tough day at school, and I usually don't tell my parents about this, but this one kid's really been picking on me, something like that. It's kind of where I'm kind of trying to drive that question and kind of give you direction in that there. Is kind of instances like that where members you've made that connection with them where they have that safe adult to come to outside of school, outside of home.
Can you repeat the question again?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
So the question is, what is something that in this job that you didn't expect, not that you didn't expect, but something that may not be seen by people outside of this position, where it's like it's a misconception of they think, oh, they're just there to watch the kids after school. Kind of like how you were saying earlier, when you came here as members, you thought the staff here were just here to kind of just watch the kids. But now working the job, you see there's more to it than that. So it's kind of that was what I'm asking there.
All right, so I want to jump on your babysitting thing, and a lot of people do think of it as babysitting, but they don't really see the inside. Like a lot of members do come to us with their problems about bullying at school and friend groups, racism going on at school and how they can navigate it, certain clubs and stuff, which I've gotten asked like how to deal with issues within a club at the high school by a member here. And I try to give them advice how to handle it, see what they can do to step forward and make it a better club for everybody to go to. Just stuff like that.
Yeah. For me, the first time I realized like, oh, we're doing more than just like showing up and like just like watching the kids was when this one member came up to me and she asked me, she was like, oh, I'm having issues with my friends, like they're mad at me. And I was just like shocked. I was like, oh, like she came up to me and she asked me for advice. Like I've never really experienced that, or like it just felt really nice. I was like, oh, she trusts me to tell like her problems and ask for help. And yeah, that was
Yeah, and I think in my experience, I think just for myself, not realizing the lack of resources out there or the limited resources, and I mean, just for not just childcare, but when it comes to like the equipment we're able to offer in the gym, and also in the STEM lab, a lot of these kids wouldn't have access to it outside of our club, and also other opportunities such as there was an instance I can think of over the summer. We had a volunteer come in and teach yoga class. A lot of the kids had no idea what yoga was. And just to be able to expose them to this, and they really ended up embracing it. And so that's what I can think of.
Something that I really like about this, and kind of answering my own question here, is a lot of conceptions of the Boys and Girls Club I feel are, oh, it's just a place to go after school, just to hang out, but not realizing that, like Jose was saying, we offer a lot of different services and opportunities for members that might not otherwise have those services and opportunities. And we're able to help those members in these communities to be able to do this and offer them giant chess or CAD on the computers or video editing or art programs where they otherwise wouldn't have. After they go through elementary school, a lot of those become electives and they don't get to experience that. Whereas somewhere here, we're able to offer that and keep going beyond that. It's not just another place to hang out after school. It's something to help really change your life.
Absolutely.
So my next question is, before I kind of open up the table here, is what is the most rewarding part of this job so far? What has been the most rewarding moment or instance, or something you really made you feel really warm inside when it happened?
You can go.
Okay. I would say like the smile on the kids' faces and them repeating what we did the next day and being so excited about it and wanting to do it again. I want to say that's the most rewarding point of it all.
Yeah. I was going to say right when the kids like walk in the door and they just like greet you with your name, they're just like, hey, Avi, like, how are you doing? And like they ask me the whole question. It just makes me feel very like appreciated. And it's just nice to like start the day with just being greeted, like greeting each other, saying hi, and yeah, getting the day started.
Yeah, I agree, Avi. And then giving our members a safe space here that they might not have at home or at school, where they can really be themselves and help them develop. And then also giving them access to, like we were saying earlier, the programs and all of the different supplies that we have here to help them out, and then acting as a mentor too and watching them grow as club members.
Okay, what? No, I'm kidding. I'm still taking pictures. Okay, so what a big moment for me. Oh, okay, I'll talk about the staff because what has happened with my career is over there, and this is a chosen career. Everybody, this to me is not just a job; it is profession. It's my chosen career, and I might have been talking to. Maybe I was talking to you, Leilani. I was talking to someone, and I was saying over the years, my position of how I deal with the young people has changed. So I was a teacher at one time, and a site director at one time, and area director for Park District, and so I was able to be hands-on. Like I was right in the middle. Like if you look for, ever look for Sheila, she's right in the middle of the kids. Running and playing and, stuff, doing things with them, but activities. And so now, as my career has, matured and I have matured age-wise, I'm not able to do the same things that I could do. And so now I've transitioned into a different part of my career. There's a different area I'm in now. And so I'm not as hands-on with the kids because now I got to take a back seat and work from behind the scenes while I see all the younger people and the younger staff out there like yourself. You're out there with the kids and you're playing the ball and you're running around. And I'm not able to do that anymore. But I do know the staff. And it has been a joy to work with all of the staff, because I don't only just work with Martinez. So shout out to all of them too. But it has been a joy to see people walk through the door that they were one way, they presented one way, and now I see how they have blossomed and bloomed into amazing professionals. And I'll say, Avi started first day with me. We were walking together to go, to get background checks and stuff like that. We were together. And now I'm just like, this is my sister from the very first day, sister. And then now I see this young lady. Now she's taking charge of her room, and she's doing. Closer to. I can't believe he wants me to be closer to the mic, as loud as I am. So I have seen her command her space, and here she was, this silent little, sweet little thing, and now she is really taking off with commanding her space, being I'm changing mics. Mic change. Okay, I'm dropping this mic and picking up this one. Hey.
You want to hand me that one?
Okay, I'm handing this one to you. I don't know how.
It's just sounding really
Okay.
weird.
Okay, are we here? Am I good?
Yep.
Okay, I don't know how to put this in. What am I doing? Oh, there I go. Mic check.
It's okay. I'll smooth that cut out.
Okay, to smooth that out. So Avi, and I've seen her develop into a really, really outstanding teacher in her room, doing her art. She commands her space, and I'm very, very proud to see that. Leilani, watching Leilani go from just the one that kind of just hung out with the kids and the teens and doing her thing, develop into our assistant site director. You would have thought that she would be one of the ones that sat back and didn't speak up. And that's what I noticed about her. She was always the one who was quiet, but when it came to something she saw that needed to be done, she had the volume erased. So I love that about her, and I'm so proud to see her develop her career. And then we have Mr. Jose, who has gone from bounced from one place to the other and commanded his responsibility of behind the scenes with paperwork and, one of the things that people don't understand is how incredibly detailed working with kids has to be. It is so disciplined. My goodness. Everything has to be, T's have to be crossed and I's dotted, and he handles that very, very well. So my best thing that I've seen is how they have developed. And we won't even go there, Professor. How amazing. I mean, I have seen you grow with just in doing this podcast, and it's just been an amazing journey. And that is what I love most of all. Those are my moments. So there. How about that, Jose?
Well done.
I'd have to agree. As I'd mentioned on the last podcast, and as Leilani and Avi know, and you all know now, I've been here for 8 years since I graduated high school, so I've been here for a long time.
Oh, man.
I know, right? And for me, it's seeing the transitions and seeing all the ups and downs, and especially being as a member, seeing staff transitions and going up this roller coaster and then down the roller coaster really sharp and going up and going down. And then eventually it kind of tapers off a little bit and kind of gets steady, and then it drops off again or comes back up. So I really enjoy seeing people really come together and teams come together to really make a difference in members' lives. And I really appreciate that about each and every one of you, is that you really put your all into it when really trying to make these members feel safe and at home and really a better place for them that they might otherwise not have. That's what this place was for me, and why I've continued to attend and work here, is because this has always been my home away from home. And so I appreciate that about you each and every single day. If I don't say it, I really do think it.
Yeah.
So that is to
very
all
cool.
of you, is that all these transitions and throughout all this turmoil, that this place is still here in the community to really try to make it a better place.
It has been a joy. But you're saying something. I'm really interested. We have parents listening, and donors, and benefactors, and the powers that be are out there listening. So tell me, what do you want to say to them about your COVID experience here? What has been going on? Because I know it's a frustration with the parents. Their kids can't get here. We have to shut down. We get exposed. We're frontliners. We're on the front line. What is it that you want to say to the parents, the donors, the people out there, so they can understand your side of the story? Because they don't often get to hear the staff. I mean, something closes down, and it's like, there's the invisible person saying, we're closed today, COVID.
Yeah.
What do you want to say? Yeah, Jose, what
On
do you
that
want to
note,
say?
you were saying, when there is a closure, I mean, we're still working behind the scenes. We're not taking the day off. We're still working on programming. We're working with the district. We're figuring out how can we safely get these kids back in the club, and also how can we support them from a distance at home, whether that's setting up Zooms. We sometimes set up kits where they can do at home. We share it with the parents and guardians that way. And really just letting them know that we're working hard behind the scenes. Sometimes we work even longer days behind the scenes in order to support our members.
I would say it's for me, and again, I had mentioned this kind of last time too, that it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Is because we not only have to worry about disinfecting every day and really clean very, very vigorously to make sure everything's really clean in the bathrooms and in all of our program spaces and on the STEM center with all the computers and the art room with all the supplies and the game room with all the equipment, is we also have to worry about not only our own safety, but the safety of our families at home as well. It's because when we come here, expose ourselves not only to members every day, but everything they may carry with them, including COVID. So when exposures happen, we're all here expecting it. We're waiting every day that, okay, today they come in, we could get exposed every single day. And when I go home, I may expose my family if I'm infected. And for example, that my mom, as you know, had a severe heart attack back in December. She has since made a full recovery and will be returning to work in a week or so. So she's doing really good.
Yes.
But for a while there, it was very scary to come into work because she was compromised and her body was recovering. So I came in every day worried that if I'm exposed, I'm gonna have to, maybe sleep in my car because I don't want to get her exposed because she had just survived this traumatic experience and I don't want her to have to experience another. So it's worrying about a lot more than just making sure the members are safe. It's making sure that we are safe as well, and that the members, they're safe, and our families are safe, and their families as well, in case we get infected. It goes both ways.
Absolutely.
It goes both ways.
That's a really good point.
And it's also, we don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
We do not want to get sick because we cannot be there for their kids if we're sick.
Right.
And I know, Avi, Leilani, you guys struggle also with, you have to keep kids separated. You got to try to have them social distance. That is so difficult. Tell us what that's like, that you have to do that. I mean, because they want to be hanging out with their friends.
It's pretty difficult when we try to explain to the kids, especially the younger ones. They want to be with their friends. They want to hug on their friends and, just be close. They're friends, so it's normal. But it's we have to explain to them, we can't do that. It's procedure. We're trying to keep you guys safe. And I just feel like a lot of people don't realize we're doing a lot of things to keep the kids safe, keep ourselves safe. And sometimes the parents might get a little upset if we have to close. But like Sheila said, we can't help the kids if we aren't safe ourselves. If we are sick, we cannot help your own kids. So yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all.
It's all good.
I want to jump on what Avi said. It's a lot of repeating ourselves to the kids and trying to explain to them, like, we have to
Yeah.
keep you guys safe. And even with, like, explaining, it's like two different things going on. Like, even if, you're vaccinated, you could still get it. So I have to explain that a lot to the kids. Like, we have to be extra safe, not having them too close when we're outside snacking, and having them wash their hands before eating and then wiping down stuff. There's just a lot of repetition going on, but we're trying to do all that we can to give them a safe space to go to after school and such. So, yeah.
And benefits of that is that it gives them a routine, it gives us a routine, and routines are safe and
Yeah.
routines are good. And it may not be the routine we want to do right now because of COVID, but it's the one that we have to do to ensure
Yeah.
safety.
Right.
So that's something that goes along with it as well.
Yeah, and I hope that all parents, and I think they do, understand that the team wants to be there.
Yeah.
It's not like they
Absolutely.
don't, and that's also frustrating.
Yes.
Because you want to be there,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Oh, Jose says
Like, I
yes,
don't know
yes,
how
go,
I don't know
Jose.
how else I can express that. Yeah, we want to be there, but we gotta make sure that we're staying safe and we're doing everything we can to keep the club open. And that goes to keeping kids separate, staggering different periods so that we're not all in the same space at the same time, tracking everything, and also communicating with the parents so they're letting us know and cooperating. If, for example, if someone's having symptoms, staying home, isolating, same as we would do here as staff members.
Yeah, a lot of times we have to be the big old meanies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We have to be the villains, right? We have to
Yeah.
go in and say, okay, you two stay apart. You can't be near each
Yeah.
other. When we want to be hanging
yeah.
out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can't do it.
Something I've noticed though is that when we're down with the members and we're having to explain something to them, is that we're not just going up and saying, "Hey, you have to be apart." Why? Because I said so.
Yeah.
We really do, and I've noticed this with all of us, is we really sit down and say, "Hey, this is why we can't be together, is because of COVID, because it transmits this way." We recently had to switch all of our members to these masks rather than a cloth mask. And we've had to explain to each and every one of them when they ask, and like it's because it unfortunately the cloth mask doesn't stop COVID, but these ones do. It stops it from spreading, and if we all wear the correct masks, it won't spread, and it keeps us safer. And I've noticed that we've explained that to the members, and ever since explaining to them, this is why we need to have these masks, they've been wearing them more and more often.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, kids are more cooperative in a way. They're kind of like, okay, whatever. They try to
Yeah.
adapt. They don't bring their own personal views about it or anything like that. They follow. So, but it does make us feel not always so great about having to do that.
Right.
That's a
Yeah.
rule that we have to follow that we don't necessarily
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to, but we have to. So,
Because
but go ahead.
Because it can put us in an uncomfortable position to where we really want to be their mentors and be
Yes.
this figure they look up to and respect and listen to, not out of the necessity of, oh, I'm the adult figure, but out of mutual respect for one another, that, hey, I'm a mentor here and I'm here to help you through these things and tutor you and teach you, and we're going to have fun doing it the whole time. So it's a lot of that mutual respect that goes along with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it is scary because it does change every day, and
Yeah.
we don't. Sometimes we try to get ahead of the pain, but we
We've
can't
tried.
because every 5 minutes there's something that's different. So I'm glad you guys shared that because I really think that's a really really important part of the message to get out there, that it really is not us. We're not deciding to just do this because we don't want to do it or we don't feel like coming in that day. It really is just something we have to follow a rule like anything else. But on a better note, let's do some shout outs.
Yep,
You ready
I
for some
agree.
shout outs?
I am.
All right. So shout outs. This is the portion of the program where we just shout out to whomever, whatever it is you want to shout out to.
Sure.
I'll start out first. Shout out to all of my homies out there who are hanging in there with the COVID, the other sites. Some of them, some of are sick, some are quarantining, and yet they are still trying to do Zooms and program and fight through this invisible enemy that keeps attacking.
Yeah.
And they're doing that. So all my staff out there, Ellahurst staff, and Mr. Leo out there with Greenwood, and Betty Reed. Guys, thank you so much for hanging in there. And of course, my Martinez homies, thank you as well for hanging in there. So
All
that's my
previous
shout
sites
out.
that she mentioned will also be on future podcasts.
Absolutely.
So keep that in mind.
Absolutely. So that's my shout out to my staff, my crew, my homies. All right. Jose?
Sure. So my first shout out is going to be to James, helping me not only with the tech stuff, but all the behind the scenes that goes on. It's at least once a day I'm reaching out to him in his studio over here. If it's not for something on the computer, it would be for the alarm or how can I access this something in the club. And then Leilani, I came up when I got hired over the summer. I started out at Betty Reed Middle School, so I was at an
Betty
ACES
Reed.
Betty Reed, shout out to the Betty Reed, everybody out there. And then Leilani was able to help me out. There's a saying, once you've seen one Boys and Girls Club, you've seen one Boys and Girls Club. They're all unique. They all have their unique challenges as well. And Leilani's been very, very helpful with getting me started and running. And Avi and all the other staff here as well. And then Sheila having confidence in me and giving me this opportunity. And yeah, I really like the way things are going right now, and I'm excited about what's the things that are coming.
I want to give a shout out to all our Boys and Girls Club workers for working during this time and giving the kids a safe place to go to, especially in a time like this, knowing that we possibly can't be safe because of what's going on in the world.
I want to give a shout out to Sheila because
That's
ever
me.
since-
That's me.
ever since we started here, Sheila has been a big part of helping this place run every single day, always giving 110% with the kids, with the parents, with everything. Shout out to Jose for joining us and being our site director. We needed one, so thank you. Shout out to Leilani. She's a big reason why I really love coming to work every day and working with the kids. And she's been a really great assistant site director. She's helped everyone so much. She always has an answer to anyone's questions, which I really appreciate. Shout out to James because you've been here since day one, and you've done everything every single year to help the club grow more and more. And you always help me with all my tech questions. So thank you. And shout out to everyone who works at Boys and Girls Club.
Aw, so sweet.
I'm going to give my shout out to all club staff and kind of summarize it this way. We were all putting our personal safety on the line here and personal health on the line here. So I just want to thank you each and every day for really kind of sticking your health out there for the members and for our parents and for our community to really give them a safe space, even though COVID's not the best time for this kind of work right now because it is dangerous out there. We don't know who may be infected and who may not be. So the fact that you're all still coming in each and every day to be able to do this is big kudos to you. So thank you for really sticking with us.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, James?
Yeah, I think that wraps it up
think
for
we're
episode
wrapping
number
up here?
4. Yeah. Make sure you tune in every Friday for our podcast. They go live at 10 a.m. every Friday, and they'll be posted on our YouTube channel and anchor.fm/BGCCC. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.